today I'm going to be discussing The Evolution of Claire by Tess Sharpe. This book was definitely one of my most anticipated reads for 2018. I was so excited when they announced that Claire would be getting her own YA novel because I love when my favorite characters get YA novels, like Jane Erso got one in Rebel Rising by Beth Revis. But I was super excited and it felt like this came and went so fast. In one moment we were hearing about it and now it's in my hands and now it's over. This book was the cherry on top of Jurassic June. It came out June 26th and I finished it pretty quickly since I had it pre-ordered. Jurassic June was by far the best month of this year because we got to celebrate Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and the press tour, and I got to experience all the fun with my favorite BDH Network fam, and I got to make new Jurassic World fandom friends. It was just a really exciting month and I felt so happy and positive for the whole thing because it was just a lot of love going around and inspiration and Bryce Dallas Howard, and it just made me so happy, and I'm sad that Jurassic June is over, but the love carries on. It truly does. So this review is entirely non-spoilery because a lot of my friends have not yet finished the book. I'm so excited for them to read it because it's so good and I'm very happy with it. In this review, I'm going to be kind of talking about the plot and the storyline a little bit. I might mention a few quotes, but nothing that's going to be huge on the story aspects that's spoilery. Just a few things to point out to kind of discuss with you guys. So after that I'll be talking about characters and then the writing in general. So why don't we just get right into this review? The Evolution of Claire obviously follows Claire Dearing from Jurassic World. It goes back to 2004, right before the park is going to open, and Claire Dearing is accepted into the Bright Minds internship program held by Masrani Corporation, who is obviously in charge of creating Jurassic World. The book opens in 2015 with Claire as she's kind of coping and getting back into the world after leaving the island after the major events that happen on Jurassic World that we see in the movie. And then a small little moment comes up and we're thrown back into 2004 when Claire is only 19 years old. She's just finished her first year of college and she's ready to just get into the professional world and get an internship and do all the things. In this book we follow Claire on this internship as she meets new people and kind of discovers what her role is going to be as she dives into this professional world. She is kind of into politics right now. As we read the book, we kind of see her grow and change and kind of find more parts of herself that she may want to carry on with her as she furthers herself in her career. She kind of has this one-track mind right now, but then we kind of see her find other paths that she wants to take. Meanwhile, as we get to know Claire, we get to know these other characters, and there's a big plot that emerges within our storyline that really changes Claire and her friends. There's a lot of darker aspects to this book that I was not expecting, but I was definitely appreciative of. I was not expecting this to have as many thrill aspects as it did, and I was not expecting it to be as dark as it was. But it was really good and it was a nice little addition. Obviously this is a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World novel, so with that comes dinosaurs, and with dinosaurs comes sometimes destruction and things like that. So I was not expecting it, even though I probably should have, but it was so good and I was really happy that they added this to the storyline. The storyline in general felt really smooth and it transitioned really well between each chapter. It kind of sometimes felt like the chapters could have just stayed together instead of being broken off. But it's all for thrill aspects, I'm thinking, so that was also really good. So I like the thrilling aspect to it as well as just the dynamic between the characters and getting to see Claire grow as a person and as a professional and get to know her as she interacts with other people. I liked getting to see how the park was growing and how they got to test the gyrospheres and just those little pieces of the park that we don't really know about yet. Alright, next is going to be the characters. In this book we have a lot of characters. We have some new and old faces in this, mostly new. In this we have Dr. Wu, who has a lot of really funny moments because he's so hateful towards these interns, but then you also have a really good moment towards the end with him and Claire as she kind of finds herself in this work. And then we also have Simon Masrani, and I love Masrani because in Jurassic World he's so into the animals and the people and just making sure people are having fun and that they're happy. But in this we get the more businessy side of him because he does have to care about the funds and the business as it is because the park is going to be open, so you kind of see how he was before, and as the years go by he's more chill and kind of we got this, let's just do Hammond's work and be happy. But he's also very kind and loving towards his interns. He's appreciative of them even though he has some hidden secrets in this book. But then we have a lot of new characters as well. We have several new interns in this who are interning with Claire, and I really like Tanya, who was Claire's roommate in this. She was pretty cool. I mean, we kind of learn more pieces of another side of her later on, but you do get a good idea that she's spunky, she's really into botany, she's smart, she's quick-witted, she knows what she wants. And then we also have Justin, who is Claire's love interest in the book. I was not a fan of the lovey part because I guess it's just hard for me to see Claire, obviously, with anyone but Owen. But then you obviously have to have something to make it a YA novel. Makes people happy with their little heart fluttery moments. But Justin was really cool. He was super nerdy. He's super confident. He's really appreciative of his friends. He was a good addition to the book. And him and Claire had some pretty cute moments together that I liked. The writing, some of it was a little cliche, but I did enjoy it. Alright, so the last character I'm going to be discussing is obviously Claire. I feel terrible for saying this, but I did have a lot of issues with Claire's characterization in this. I know I'm going to get so much hate, but I have to be honest, you guys. I just, as an actor and someone who really loves Claire's character and how Bryce Dallas Howard portrays her, there were just some things that did not line up for me that I had a really hard time believing, and I didn't find that truth in them. And I think it's important to talk about. So in the book, Claire has a love for animals. She has a lizard and she has a dog, and when she's on the island, she loves the dinosaurs. She calls them by their names, not just their dinosaur names, but like their actual given names. And like the reason she wants to get into politics is so she can stand up for animal rights and things like that. But that is not the Claire I know in Jurassic World. In Jurassic World, we have a Claire who is very much not into animals. I can't picture her owning a dog or anything like that. I just can't see it. I can't see it in that Claire. She barely even recognizes that the dinosaurs are animals or that they're even alive. It takes until that scene with her and Owen when they're with the dying brachiosaur that she sees and realizes, oh my gosh, these actually are animals. Like, what have I been doing with like my life? Like, she's been forgetting that they were animals and just kind of wanting to show them off. They're just assets in the park to her. That's what I get in Jurassic World. Claire's not a bad person, but that's how she is. She's very career driven and she's into the business side of it and making sure the guests are okay and the guests are getting the things they need, and that the animals are just kind of a part of the park and it doesn't really matter, but as long as they're in their cage and they're doing what they need to be doing. But then it's that moment when the light turns on, when she sees a dying brachiosaur and she sees her eyes as she's dying, and it's like, that is what I'm here for. That's the character arc. That is the transition from Jurassic World Claire into Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Claire. At least that's what it was to me. In this book, I see Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Claire, but I do not see Jurassic World Claire. Obviously 10 years is going to pass between this book and Jurassic World the movie, so a lot can change. I mean, she could have still loved animals, but then kind of lost that side of her, and it took that moment she saw the dying brachiosaur that the light came back on, and she's like, oh yeah, this is what I do. Like, I've become so consumed in my work that I forgot that these are live animals. That's like some other side of it, but that's like a really hard part for me to fathom, because the arc for me was that moment she sees a dying brachiosaur, and from that moment on she realizes that these are animals, and that's why in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom she's advocating for the dinosaurs. She has a dinosaur protection group. That's the change for me. That's why I had such a really hard time with this book, that she was caring so much for the animals, even though that's not who I thought Claire was. There are a lot of pieces of Claire, obviously, that are fitting. She's very career driven, she's very ambitious, she's smart, she's quick on her feet, she knows how to problem solve, she can do anything. She has a lot of Nancy Drew moments in this book that I've definitely appreciated. There's just a lot of moments that you see that Claire. You see the organization skills and the dedication and how much she wants to achieve her goals. There's a lot that happens in this book that I can see the change, but there's also a lot that I can't see, and I do really want to have a spoiler review about this because I just can't. I'm having a really hard time finding the truth in Claire's character, and why she went back to Jurassic World. This book doesn't tell me why she went back. Like, there's a moment at the end that it's like, oh, this is why she went back. This is why she did what she did in Jurassic World. But there's also most parts of me that I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't. I love Claire so much, and I appreciate her character, and I love Bryce Dallas Howard, obviously, so it's hard for me to read things that don't feel fitting to her character. Ugh. I'm sorry, guys. That's really the biggest complaint I have with this book, but I'm hoping there's another book that kind of bridges the gaps and kind of helped me see how she became the Claire we know of in Jurassic World. Right now, I don't see that Claire. I'm sorry. Alright, on to the last section of this review is the writing. Tess Sharpe, oh my gosh, her writing is so good, you guys. It's so poetic. Her diction, just phenomenal. Every word she uses, she puts in the most eloquent place, and it just flows in such a beautiful way. There are so many amazing little quotes in this that I love. It's so good. I'm going to actually read a couple of my favorite quotes, so I apologize if you don't want to hear them. Don't worry. Just close your ears. So the first one is going to be on page 22. It says, "And I am built to run, not away, but forward. And running forward means sometimes leaving things, people, behind." I love that because it means you have to chase your dreams. And yeah, it's going to be hard when you have to leave people. Like, I hate leaving my family. But in the end, if you want to reach those goals, you have to do it. You have to. Like, you can't just give up on your dreams. That's like one of my favorite quotes. And I just read that and I was like, yes, Tess, this is beautiful writing. So good. And then the other quote I have is kind of a long paragraph. So here we go. It's on page 30. "Being ambitious is like being consumed. Like something's gnawing at me. Sometimes the desire fades, but other times it's so intense, I'm afraid it'll burst through my skin, all gnashing teeth and feral hunger. I think it should scare me because it's a part of me that's hard to tame. It's a part of me that grows every day. The more I learn, the more I see, and the more I see, the more I want." Killing me. Those words, her diction choices, I'm in awe. It's so poetic. The prose is beautiful. Writing is amazing, and Tess just puts everything in the right place and it just flows. The chapters flew perfectly. It was just really, really good. And there's also really cute moments of foreshadowing in this. There's this moment when Claire is picking out what she needs to pack, and they talk about how her hair doesn't work in the humidity and it like gets all frizzy. And I was like, I'm so happy that they mentioned that, because obviously in Jurassic World, Claire's hair goes from like this beautiful straight bob into an even more beautiful wavy magic. I'm sorry, that's like my favorite when she goes from that transition. Like, I love Claire in Jurassic World. Like, everything, her costume, her hair, everything's just perfect. Oh man, but I was so happy they mentioned that. And there's also another moment where they mention that they need someone to train the carnivores one day. Like, they need to get a special person to do that, and maybe one day they'll find him. And I'm like, Owen Grady, you're being foreshadowed here. Owen Grady's coming. There were a lot of moments in her writing that she kind of put little pieces in there to kind of give us Jurassic World fans a little lovin'. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I loved those moments, and I was always like giddy and happy when she mentioned things. It just made my heart really happy. Alright guys, that's it for this non-spoilery review. I have a lot to discuss with this book. I can't wait for everyone to read it because there's a lot of things in here I was not expecting. So like I said, I did give this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did really love this book. I could barely put it down. As I said, I did have some problems with characterization, but overall this book is absolutely incredible, and I'm very, very happy that it lived up to most of my expectations. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a nice little thumbs up. If you want to keep following me on this booktube journey, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on social media at Erica A. Gobble. And that's all I have for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!